Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. 1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast, brought to you in conjunction with the Old City Sports Network. The countdown continues. 15 days away from the start of the NFL season. Crunch time is here. Scott Hansen's intros are feeling ever more real. I'm excited for Red Zone to be back.
Can't wait. It pisses me off he's wearing an undershirt under his shirt in that one.
Yeah.
That clip.
Yeah, that's definitely wild. But we love Scott no matter what.
Yep.
Today, we will be breaking down our quarterback rankings for this upcoming season. If you want to check out all of our rankings, you can find them at our website. The link is in our bio on all platforms, so check that out if you're looking for more rankings. But before we begin, we want to thank everyone who joined our Beat the Bros Redraft League, drafting today right after we wrap up this QB breakdown at 6:45 p.m. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So only got 45 minutes to talk QBs. Let's get right into it. As always, for these ranking episodes, I like to discuss kind of what your strategy is for drafting each position. For quarterbacks this season, where have you been targeting them? One of the first couple of guys, middle of the pack, or are you waiting until late to grab your QB?
Middle of the pack.
Depends what falls to me.
Yeah.
Because there's some guys in the middle of the pack that if they all get taken, I don't see anybody like later worth kind of reaching on at that point just to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm reaching on one man and one man only.
We all know who that is.
That is Jalen Hurts, dude.
If we drafted a month ago, I probably would do the same, but I kind of have accepted I probably won't get him. I won't get Josh Allen. I won't get Mahomes. But he's the guy you want to reach if you're going to reach on somebody. And it won't even be a reach.
Yeah.
But you can wait this year, though. Like, you honestly can. There's a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yeah, QB feels pretty deep again. It's usually pretty deep. There have been a couple years, actually recent years, that it hasn't been that deep. Like even last year, it was kind of shallow where like it seemed like it was going to be deep. And then a lot of guys that were supposed to be good, kind of like Matt Stafford, even Aaron Rodgers last year wasn't that great. Like guys that you expected to rely upon were not there for you. But again, seems like it's going to be deep. I'm probably in the same boat as most of you guys. I'm definitely considering Jalen Hurts early. Maybe a touch of bias there. I'm also considering Mahomes if I do grab Kelsey in the first round on that swing back. I've seen that done in a lot of drafts where you get Kelsey, it comes back around. It's like Mahomes is super tempting at that point just to grab the stack. Feels like running back and wide receiver you can wait a little bit on this year more than ever. So I don't hate that, but usually not something I'm trying to do. But yeah, if I don't get that middle of the pack, it really just depends on where they're falling. If some guy falls another round, I'll probably reach, but probably waiting towards the end. There's some guys late that I like a lot too. So we'll get into all of our rankings, but let's start at the top. Seems like there are top three. Everyone here has the same top three, just in different order. So let's start with you, Matt. You are the only one of us with Mahomes at number one. Are you confident he can put up incredible numbers again?
I am.
In the Hurts jersey.
All right. It's not disrespect.
Take it off.
But
Take it off.
Mahomes just gets it done. It doesn't matter who he's throwing to. He's always going to have Kelsey, McKinnon, Sky Moore. I think should have a big part of this offense. Justin, what's his face, Ross, and he just had damn near 40 touchdowns for the past 3 years. So, and he had 50 his rookie year.
Yeah.
He just gets it done.
He does get it done. He's usually top five, number one twice now. I don't hate taking Mahomes at one. That's why I have him at two. But me, T-Gods, and Q, I think we are all on the Jalen Hurts train. We saw what he could do last year. If he didn't get banged up towards the end, I do think he could have finished number one last year. So why not again? I mean, the Eagles' offense is just insane. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, insane offensive line. Added DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny to kind of replace that gap left by Miles Sanders. Kenneth Gainwell still there as well to mix in the backfield. There's just so much on this offense, and obviously Jalen Hurts can do a lot with his legs too. So I'm dialed in at him on number one. I assume Q and T-Gods, you echo that sentiment.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
indeed.
Yeah, have to. Q, moving on to you. You do have Josh Allen at number 2, and you actually have him over Mahomes. Do you think Josh
Mahomes.
Allen can fix some of these turnovers from last year that haunted him?
He can, but at the same time, doesn't matter. He still finished quarterback 1 with the turnover, so nothing needs to change for him. Or
Was
was
he
he
number 1 last
quarterback? He's maybe quarterback 2. But either way,
Yeah, Mahomes was one last year.
yeah,
Yeah.
either way, if you could just bring him down a little bit, they haven't really done much. I know we love James Cook here, or some of us do, but that's not gonna. The Bills don't love James Cook enough to stop Josh Allen from running the ball. That's not going to be taken away, and I'm not concerned about the interceptions. Bring him on, because Mahomes doesn't have anyone to throw to. So I'll save the hot take for later. It could be predictable, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we know that. But yeah, the rest of us also have Josh Allen at 3. So all of us have the same top 3 guys. It's Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Patrick Mahomes. However you want to slice it, feel free to slice it that way. All 3 of those guys could easily finish number 1. Gator in the chat. What's up, Luigi Fantasy Brothers? Gator coming up with.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But we're the Fantasy Bros. So I guess play on the Mario Bros. Last week Monday we were the Wario Brothers. We'll see who we are next week, I guess. Danny Dimes ? We can touch on Danny Dimes in a little bit, but I don't think we love him too much this year as a whole. Let's move on from the top 3 to the middle of the pack, guys. How did you guys rank Burrow, Lamar, and Herbert? Where are you targeting these guys in drafts? Are you comfortable taking them around their ADP between late 3rd, mid 4th, or would you rather wait for them to fall maybe to the 5th round?
I got Burrow the highest out of all of them. I got Burrow 4, Lamar 5, Herbert 6. But honestly, I'm pretty comfortable with they'll get those guys at that spot as my quarterback.
Yeah, I got Lamar at 4. I'm the most confident in him. I got Burrow at 5. And wait, who are we talking about? Herbo. I got him at 7. I got Justin Fields over him. I'm sorry, Q. Come on.
Awesome.
But if I do have like Jamar or T, well, probably Jamar. It doesn't matter. But if I have Jamar, I'll probably take Joe Burrow over Lamar.
That makes sense. I like the stack. I got Burrow, Lamar, Herbert as well in that order. I do have Justin Fields above Lamar and Herbert. We'll touch on him in a minute.
Wild.
But just focusing on these 3 guys, I think I would probably wait more towards mid 4th, if not like late 4th, 5th, just to see if one of these 3 guys falls. I don't have like a major preference between these 3. I do like Burrow and Lamar more than Herbert just by a little bit, but I think any of these 3 could be top 5 quarterbacks this year. So I'm comfortable taking them there. I'd rather just wait to probably be the last to take one of the 3 instead of being the first in like late 3rd round to grab the first one there.
Yeah.
The next guys that have kind of snuck into this middle tier, as you guys just hinted at, Justin Fields, but also Trevor Lawrence. Of those 2, which guy do you prefer and why?
Come on. The one that can throw the football.
I have Fields ranked 1 spot higher than Trevor Lawrence, but I refuse to try and defend Justin Fields.
Why?
Because he just does it with his legs. He does things that Trevor Lawrence can't do with his legs, and that makes for a good fantasy quarterback.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with
That's all I'm going to say.
He's just one-dimensional, though.
I don't care how he gets it done. I just want the points.
At some point, though, it's the one-dimensional part's going to hurt him. He's not going to be able to get the points.
He'll be fine.
You could throw screens.
I hope he stinks.
Hater.
Same.
You guys are haters. I'm in on Justin Fields.
I'm a realist.
I am a super realist. Justin Fields is good at football. He was number 7 last year, finishing amongst quarterbacks. He did miss 2 games and started off the season like dog water for like 5 games. So even with all that, he still finished number 7. Justin Fields can just get a little bit more consistency this year, get a little bit more consistent running the ball. He's going to be super valuable this year. So I'm in on Justin Fields. I'll touch on him more for sure lately, but I'm taking him over Trevor Lawrence. Easy.
Me too.
Super easy.
You'll regret it.
I won't. Sorry. The rest of the pack here is somewhat tough for us to find an agreement on. So I set us up for some head-to-head breakdowns of why we feel higher or lower on certain guys, kind of in the 9 to 15 range. So let's start with Aaron Rodgers. T-Gods, you are the highest on Aaron Rodgers amongst us at 8. Q, you are the lowest. You are the Aaron Rodgers hater at 13.
Don't
So-
say hater.
T-Gods, I guess you can start us off. Why do you like Aaron Rodgers this year?
Because I don't know if you guys remember, but like he's still Aaron Rodgers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you like that, Matt?
I love
I
it.
like that.
I'm gonna mute. I'll get back to this later.
Okay. Q, take over and explain why you don't like Aaron Rodgers, I guess.
It's not that I don't like him. It's just I like him less. Definitely like him less now because of the situation where they brought in Dalvin Cook. Do you think they're going to bring in Dalvin Cook? And they already have Brees Hall. Do you think they're just not going to run the ball? Obviously, they brought in Aaron Rodgers, and he'll be great. But I just think they're going to lean more towards the run. They brought in Dalvin Cook. I'm repeating myself, but it's an important
gonna
reason
run the
why
ball
there's some
70%.
doubt. It's possible. Gary Wilson will still have his amazing year, but I just think the upside is limited with him.
Nah, I'm in on Aaron Rodgers. Go ahead, T-Gods.
So much. I'm in on Aaron Rodgers, and I feel a lot better because even though like Alan Lazard like isn't great, he still like has comfort in him. I guess they still like Randall Cobb's there. Like I don't know. So I know they're not great, but he's still like around people that he's like comfortable with. So like the new team won't feel so like new, I guess, if you will. I don't know if you've seen all the clips with him and Garrett Wilson, but like they're looking mighty juicy together.
G-Dub.
The whole offense is just good. Like they don't have like a weak spot. I don't know. It's just everything is like
Tight end.
all right. Doesn't matter.
Conklin ain't that bad.
He's not the worst, but
And Uzama. They got two
He'll be a
mid-rolls.
Tunyon.
Draft him.
he's no Ryan Griffin, but he'll get it done.
Yo, they got Temple legend Kenny Yeboah too. Don't sleep.
Stop.
What the fuck is
Who the
that?
hell
Josh
is that?
Yeboah.
I'm probably more known at Temple than him.
Stop.
Oh my god.
That's disrespectful. No, but I'm also in on Rodgers. I have him a little bit lower than T-Gods at 10. So I am, and as I was just about to mention,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
it's competitive, so competitive at the wide receiver position that Corey Davis had to retire. He said, I can't keep up. So Rodgers has plenty of weapons. Mecole Hardman as well. I think he'll be just fine. So give me Rodgers. Jair's also had a question. Got offered Mixon for Judy. What do you think? His running backs are Madison, Miles Sanders, Montgomery, P. Ryan, and Charbonnet.
P. Ryan started him every week. Even on
Stop.
his buys.
Bro, I'm accepting that all day long.
I would accept that
100%.
100%, depending on your wide receivers. If you have, if
I
you have
don't even care.
If you have
Is it
no
redraft
depth,
or Dynasty?
I would assume redraft.
I would
since
still
we're
do it
pretty
in
close.
Dynasty.
Yeah, I would take Mixon over Judy.
100% taking Mixon.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it up. All right, back to it. Aaron Rodgers, yes. Me, T-Gods are in. Q is out. Deshaun Watson, Q. Now you're defending Deshaun Watson because you have him at 9, and you can go kind of against Matt. Matt has him at 13. T-Gods has him all the way down at 16.
I hate that the Russ thing was like a real deal with him last year. I didn't want to believe because he's still a professional football player. But prior to that, we've seen him be great. He finished quarterback 5 the 3 years like of his prime before going away for a year or two. He has Amari Cooper who finished wide receiver 9 last year, so he has an amazing weapon. Maybe not as close to D-Hop, but still a number 1. And he has the rushing ability, which is most valuable in a quarterback in fantasy football. So I feel like there's a push towards him being great again this year. And and David Njoku is probably going to finish top 10 tight end as well. So he has all the weapons. As long as he looks nothing like he did last year, except for the last game of the season, he did have the last 2 games of the season. He had a vintage type Derek Watson, Deshaun Watson performance. So I have belief that he can finish inside the top 10 again.
All right.
But there are worries. There are
I want to see it before I'm back in on D. Last year, he got basically the whole season, and we didn't really see much out of him. Honestly, we all thought the Browns looked worse when they brought in Deshaun Watson over Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
And
That
that's
is
not
true.
a good thing being Deshaun Watson. So I want to see it before I'm back in on it. If he looks good, maybe I'll try and trade for him, but not necessarily a quarterback I'm targeting in the draft.
Yeah, T-Gods, I assume you're just going to echo Matt's sentiment there.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I saw I liked last year, so I'm just not worth the risk for me.
Yeah.
We'll still take Coop though.
Yeah.
We'll still
I'm kind
take
of in the
Cooper.
middle. I'm kind of in the middle. I do still have some faith that like vintage Deshaun Watson football player can still be somewhere in there. I just hope it shows itself this year with Amari Cooper and kind of just getting a year under this offense under his belt. So I think
He's
that
still
could
like
help a little bit.
a baby. He's like so young still, isn't he? Like
Uh,
26.
He's
Maybe-
27 now. So he's
He's
kind of
pretty
like
young.
prime age for quarterbacks, but we'll see if
Yeah.
he can live up to it. All right, let's move on here to Geno Smith. This one's not too far off, but T-Gods and I are definitely higher. T-Gods has him at 11. I have him at 12. And Q and Matt, you both have him at 14. So, T-Gods, I guess you can start us off on why we still love Geno this year.
Bro, he was literally the most accurate passer in the league last year. Literally the most accurate. I mean, he's on a roll right now. I don't see it stopping. They just brought in the dude with 3 names. Like, it's
got
gonna
hurt?
like. All right. Settle down. I don't. It's just like the team only got better. I'm like, there's no reason for me to think that it's gonna slow down. Like, I'm just
Oh.
in. I'm just in. I don't.
I'm completely in the same boat. He was QB5 last year. I know it was a little bit of a quieter year for quarterbacks, but he still showed that he is capable of putting up decent numbers every single week. He was relatively one of the most consistent quarterbacks. He didn't have any major weeks that really like blew you out of the water, but he was consistently getting you like 20-point weeks for a good stretch of the season there. So I'm in on Geno Smith. He has one of the probably top 5 receiving cores in the league for sure. With Metcalf, still Lockett. I know he's getting a little bit older, and obviously, as T-God just mentioned, JSN. So I'm in on Geno. I'm taking him
No
for
way
sure.
Metcalf is getting a little bit older.
No, I said Lockett.
Oh, I was gonna say that
He's
doesn't. He's
fine.
top 20 wide receiver every year. It's
I
not
know,
good.
and he will be again.
Yeah, Lockett is nice. Matt, Q, do you have any reason to not love Geno? I know you guys actually are a little bit ahead of ADP too. So
Just don't
Uh,
play him against the 49ers because he will guarantee stink.
yeah.
He played against 49ers when I needed him the most. It was like the end of the season, of course. And that's like his kryptonite, but they also are good. So I don't know.
I just think that there's quarterbacks who either had a lousy year last year or are coming back from injury who are going to finish above Geno. Like Sean said, it was kind of a down year for quarterbacks last year. So I think with everyone healthy this year, hopefully, I just don't see him really cracking the top 10.
Let's also not forget who
So
Geno
that's going to
Smith
bump
once
him
was.
down 9 spots. Yeah, 9 spots, Matt.
Baker over him.
Yeah.
Baker.
Let's not forget who Geno was before last year, so that he could easily
For
just
real.
been fluky.
I think
We'll see.
Full season's a little tough to be super fluky.
Stop.
There's some truth there.
Cordell
Some
Patterson.
Will change, Q.
We'll see.
Yeah, people change. I mean, he just never really had an opportunity. Imagine trying to play for the 2014 Jets offense or whatever that was.
They were good.
Stop.
I feel like they were good in that.
He was there when they were
20
bad.
Okay.
2014, they were good. I think that was when they had Fitzmagic. Whatever. Either way, we're moving on to Kirk Cousins. So Q and Matt can love up some
Oh
Kirk
my
right
God.
here. They've got him at 10.
Love up.
I've got him at 13. So I guess you guys can start us off, and I will defend
he's
why I'm
got
not
the best
loving Kirk.
receiver in the league.
And they
the
added
biggest
Jordan
comeback.
Adams. We'll just talk together.
Yeah, go ahead, Q. Your turn.
Sang a
We
song.
should have rehearsed. We could
Yes.
just ping pong.
They have the best receiver in the league. They just drafted Jordan Addison, who is probably a million times better already than Adam Thielen was last year or the year prior. TJ
Yeah.
Hawkinson, a top 3 tight end in the league, fantasy wise at least. And they got rid of Dalvin Cook, which could benefit him because less running of the ball, even though they probably will still use Madison just the same. But primetime Kirk, that's a fluke this year, except for when they play the Eagles this year. He will be back in the top 10. He had literally came back from the biggest comeback ever, dropped a 50 bomb when you needed him the most.
Hell
I didn't see
yeah.
Kyler ever do that in the playoffs.
Still
Fantasy
talking about
playoffs. Fantasy playoffs.
Kyler. Not even talking about Kyler today.
The rushing, there is no rushing, but that doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins, he's a movie star and a top 10 fantasy quarterback, potentially top 5. I'll stay on my own. Matt, you don't have to follow me there, but
Yeah, I'm not going top 5, but I'm with you, Q. regardless.
Yeah, y'all can love Kirk. I'm not fully out on Kirk. I do think he will be a serviceable quarterback, but I think that's kind of where the line is drawn. Last year he was 6th. I do give him credit. He did have a pretty solid season, but 4 seasons before that he was 11th or worse. I'm going to stick to that Kirk kind of being the more realistic Kirk. I think after kind of having such a great regular season last year for the Vikings, I think they're going to kind of fall off a little bit, just not as good. I don't know. I just don't love him, and I do think the loss of Thielen is a little bit more of an impact than it's being considered.
Who had a better season than Kirk last year?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith did. Just saying.
Big facts.
What did Geno Smith finish the prior 4 years?
And
Come on,
Sean,
man. Come on.
You're ignoring the last 3 years for him.
That's a
in
double
Washington.
standard.
6, 5, and 10. So
yeah, that's a whole different team, bud.
But he
We're
has
talking
the
about
history.
the Vikings.
He's got
they're
the
better
talent.
now.
He's a better quarterback than Geno Smith.
I'm sorry, he's mid.
Justin Fields fucking sucks.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on from Kirk on to Jared Goff. T-Gods has him at 13, the highest of us. Q and Matt, you both hate Jared Goff at 16 and 17. Maybe not hate, but T-Gods likes him more. So T-Gods, you can start us off. Why do you like Jared Goff this year?
I kind of want to hear why they hate him
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
That's just
I hate that he uses the word hate. I don't hate him. I just like him.
you hate
less.
him.
I know, I'm joking. Obviously, we don't hate anybody, just more of a preference and where you have them ranked in.
I don't know. Honestly, I probably could move him up. But if I did move him up, it would only be above Daniel Jones and Geno Smith. So I don't know. Jared Goff, I feel like his whole career he's been so inconsistent. And it's hard to trust. I do like the Lions offense a lot, but Jared Goff, it's a hit or miss, and I'm not willing to take that risk.
That's fair. I do agree. I am a fan of their offense, and they just got my favorite receiver back. So
Who's
he's
that?
gonna bump Goff up at least one spot.
The Bull Marv.
Jones.
Oh my
No, I'm playing. Marvin Jones is gonna be pretty much irrelevant, but I don't know. I just like the offense. The offense was fun to watch last year. Amon-Ra is still definitely one of the best receivers in the league. And Goff just looked good last year. I guess I'm a believer.
Yeah, I am definitely a believer as well. I'm not fully in on Goff, but I do like his weapons. I do think he can be another serviceable quarterback. I have him in that same kind of Kirk Cousins tier.
Disrespectful to Kirk.
Seriously,
Not at all. It's where he belongs.
Stop.
where you belong.
All right, let's do the last big difference here with Bryce Young. I have him at 18. You guys all have him way lower, 21, 24, and 25. So I will stand up and defend Bryce Young's honor. Obviously, he's a rookie coming into the season, so there's a lot of what ifs, whatever going on. I don't think he has the greatest supporting cast, but I think that just means Bryce Young's going to have to kind of step up and take on this offense as much as he can. He's going to get into a lot of situations where he's going to be relying on his tight end and running back, Miles Sanders. I think Hayden Hurst is serviceable where he can get some balls over the middle. And Miles Sanders, I think, is going to be a huge help for him coming out of the backfield and just keeping this offense rolling. But I think with the little bit of a weaker wide receiver core, it's going to force him to use his legs more, which he didn't use that much in college. And as we've seen, Justin Fields struggled to kind of throw a little bit in the first season. Once he kind of started running the ball more in his second season, we saw a lot of success and fantasy success. I do think Bryce Young could kind of follow in that path and put up some decent numbers. And I have him at 18. So he's not someone I'm drafting as a QB1. He's a backup that you're taking a flyer on.
The good thing about him is that he's playing in the NFC South and they stink. So he may find some success at least, 8 games out of the season or 6. I don't know what the math is. They're not playing themselves.
Yeah, 6.
I feel like this team is just hard for like any quarterback to have like real success in, let alone like a rookie.
Yeah, I definitely
And
feel
for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah, the weapons aren't great. If Adam Thielen can find some vintage Adam Thielen in him, maybe it could be okay. But yeah, I don't think the weapons are going to be too helpful for him. I think he's just going to have to run a lot and get some dump offs and kind of work the offense here and there, like first down by first down. So I think he's got just some opportunity to also get some garbage time as well. I don't think the Panthers are going to be real contenders this year. So late in games, he's going to be trying to air it out. And you never know. We've seen Blake Bortles finish as a top 10 quarterback. So I'd rather take the risk on a guy like Bryce Young rather than 9,000-year-old Matt Stafford.
Stop.
Just spitting.
Yeah, spitting shit.
Spewing nonsense.
All right, let's do some early round quarterback targets and then some late round targets. I guess we'll go one by one. So Q starts off. Who is your early round quarterback target?
It's an obvious one, just because it'd be the first quarterback I target, obviously. But Jalen Hurts, the real quarterback one of last year. Nothing's changed in that offense, and this guy seems like he's only getting better. So it's really no debate who's better in fantasy, him or Mahomes. I've talked about Herbert the last 2 years, so I thought I'd switch it up a little bit. Obviously, he's finished in top 3 as well. But Jalen Hurts will be the best quarterback and is the best value quarterback. I feel like most drafts, it's still Mahomes going. Maybe it is the bias in this area that's causing him to be first in drafts that we do, but it shouldn't be Mahomes first. It should be Jalen.
Yeah.
Agree.
Definitely like Jalen early and often in drafts. T-Gots, who is your early round quarterback target?
He is Joe Burrow. He's just got one of the best receiving cores in the league. Undoubtedly. Threw the ball 610 times last year, so it's definitely a pass-first offense. Joe Mixon isn't the greatest, all right? So
Whoa.
I know. I just wanted to get Sean worked up.
Whoa, whoa.
He's going to be throwing a
roll.
bunch. He's got really good receivers. And I usually try to get at least one Bengals receiver. And I love stacks. So I'm definitely targeting Burrow. You should too.
Burrow is a good early round target. I like that as well. Matt, who is your early round quarterback target this season?
I'm going to go my boy Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
We saw him start off super hot last year. The first 3 weeks kind of fell off, was a little mid, and then he got a little heated up again and banged up towards the end of the season. Past 2 seasons, he missed, I think, 5 or 6 games each. But before that, he was QB 10, and the year before that, when he won MVP, he was QB 1. And if he stays healthy this whole season, I see him easily getting back into the top 5. You guys love to talk about rushing ability. Lamar is the best at it by far. And I think with the addition of OBJ, that does help. Bateman, hopefully he stays healthy. Mark Andrews, obviously. So I just like this team. I like Lamar Jackson a lot. Whole team.
It's the whole team.
Yeah, Lamar, very solid early round target. I'll finish up the early round ones here with Justin Fields. Kind of going all in on Justin Fields in this episode. I was trying to find somebody to target early other than Justin Fields that wasn't already said. I couldn't find anyone.
There's a reason why he wasn't said.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen obviously is an obvious target. Mahomes is obviously a target there. But when it gets a little bit later, I'm still taking Justin Fields in that round 4 to 5 range for sure. Just so much upside this season. I'm going to touch on it a lot in a little bit here. So I'm not going to go too in depth, but
Justin Fields outside top 12
is him.
I'm not even going to try and convince you not to take him because we're in leagues together. So please take that stinky man.
Oh, I am. I will take him, and then
He
you
looks
will
like
eat your words.
Pepe meme.
You will eat those words. Let's move on to the late round targets. You can start us off.
I don't know how much I believe in this, but we've seen my guys, Russell Wilson. We've seen Sean Payton even take Drew Brees' corpse and make him a top quarterback towards the end of his career. So Russell Wilson is not there yet. He looks better apparently, and he still has the same weapons. Javonte. I wish I could just go on. Whenever we talk about the Broncos, I just want to go on a P. Ryan rant. But I don't know how much I believe
catch passes out of the backfield.
He's basically just a dart throw that definitely has the upside. He did have his good weeks last year. He just needed a competent coach, which now he has. So this will be that type of guy where you don't draft because of what he did last year, and he ends up finishing top 12. But he could have some sneaky value compared to like Matt Stafford, who's probably being drafted around the same, or Derek Carr.
We're just dragging Matt's take for later through the mud. Yeah. Russ, definitely a late round dart throw. T-Gots, late round quarterback target.
I'm not going to go back into it. I think we talked about him way too much than we should have already. Geno Smith, you're getting him at a discount. No one, like, I feel like the majority of people are like out on him. So you're probably going to get him above where he's going to finish, or you're going to get him below where he's going to finish. I don't know. Geno's him. Take him over Kirk. Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Hey, whoa.
Now we're just taking shots at each other.
Yeah, this is going
Definitely take him over Russ. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think we can all agree on that.
All right.
Last year, that would have been ludicrous to say at this time. We would
Right.
have been like, why would you take Geno over Russ? He just got to a new team. Yeah, no. It's Geno over Russ. By the end of the season, we could be eating those words.
Yeah. Geno's going to finish number 1.
Everybody take Geno Smith. No, I actually will take Geno Smith.
I'm just whatever Caleb drafts in this Bros League, I'm drafting in Maine. Just like we're going against Matt, I'm going with.
Come on, man. This is the Matt hatred show.
Well, Matt's also drafting like
Sorry.
J.K. Dobbins and guys who are like asking to get hurt. Like
Nobody's asking, please let me get hurt. Please hurt me.
you're drafting bulls who've been hurt the last 2 years, and this will be the year. Then they're
Well, I'm not doing it again this year.
We shall see there. Matt, who is your late round quarterback target?
Late round target, Aaron Rodgers. In the past 11 of his 14 seasons, he's finished top 10, multiple top 5. I think him being in this new offense is just going to be a breath of fresh air for him. Obviously, he didn't have the greatest year last year, but the talent around him with Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard coming over, Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, I think this offense is going to be very successful this year, and Rodgers will be a big beneficiary of that.
Yeah, definitely like Aaron Rodgers' late round target. For sure, he's someone I've been targeting a lot in drafts. Everybody, don't draft him in this draft we have coming up in like 10 minutes, though. Even for like super.
I'm looking at your ranks while I draft.
All right, my late round quarterback target is Jordan Love. I was going to go with Bryce Young, but we already talked about him enough. So another guy I like late is Jordan Love for sure. I think this wide receiver core is kind of getting shit on a little bit too far at this point. I do think Romeo Doubs has some solid value. He showed some flashes last year. Christian Watson obviously is a very solid deep ball threat we saw. And then Aaron Jones out of the backfield is one of the best pass catching running backs. We haven't seen too much from Jordan Love in his career, so I think that's what's scaring everybody away. But I think the Packers have a very solid defense. They're going to be a competitive football team this year. And if they want to be competitive, it's got to be on the back of Jordan Love. So definitely need Jordan Love to continue putting up numbers and see what he can do. I think he's definitely worth a late round flyer in drafts for sure.
Hey, Sonny.
See you later, pal. Yeah, Jordan Love. I think he's where he's being drafted. You can draft him for free as a backup and maybe have some upside as another top 12 quarterback, maybe top 15, but some bye week fill in that value. All right, before we get into this draft, let's do our bold quarterback takes. Matt, start us off so we can stop dragging him through the mud.
Yeah,
Tell us why we like
foreshadowing of this is going to be the boldest take of all time, but Matt Stafford comes back this year and he finishes top 12. Not really much to back this up, except he still has Cooper Kupp, obviously. Hopefully the shoulder is fully healed for him, and Cooper Kupp also is fully healthy. But no way he can get worse than last year. And if he does, I will jump off of a cliff. But I think he's shown in the past he has a talent. I think the Rams offense isn't the greatest, but there's enough there to help push him into the top 12.
I hope so. I love Steph, so I would
Yeah,
like to
can't
see him
even-
succeed.
Say, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
I hope so.
it's possible.
I hope so.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Q,
Anything.
what is your bold take? We're
But this is
all waiting on
probable.
the edge of our seats.
Outside of Justin Herbert finishing in the top 3, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Mahomes will be passing him, but going in the opposite direction and finishing outside the top 5.
Spicy.
God,
hot.
I wish I could say 10, but like I can't trust. That'd be a lot of people I have to trust. You can only do your magic for so long and now you have absolutely no one. This is like the ultimate test for him. Can you
Still has
do
Kelsey.
with I don't care, but who else? You have John Ross. John Ross's brother. May not actually be his brother, but every time I see Jay Ross, I think John Ross. John Ross and a guy named Sky, and I'm not banking on McKinnon, who's 50 years old, and Pacheco, who's a mid running back. So
What about
Um,
Kadarius Toney?
he's not going to make it past week 2.
It's fuck.
Mahomes can only do so much. He'll be throwing on one leg to the other team come week 6, and everyone who drafted him in round 2 will be sad and crying. Fuck.
I disagree heavily, Q. I'm sorry.
Outside the top 5, and I can name. It doesn't matter who I name. You guys are all going to disagree. You're going to be like, I could see it.
I mean, there is a chance he can finish outside the top 5. A slight chance. I think it's more than likely he finishes inside the top 5. I think the only time he didn't finish top 5 was when his ankle was banged up the year after his best season. So it's unlikely, but
I'm telling you,
there's a
he's finished.
chance.
The 5 that I have finishing in the top 5 are Hurts, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, and I'll put Lamar and or Trev are going to finish in the top 5.
And or Trev, foreshadowing to T God's bold take.
Oh God,
I'm
you can say that
saying-
he stinks.
No, what?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying T-Law finishes top 5.
Let's go.
I don't know how much I believe that, but Sean wants us to be bold, so I'm going to be bold. So last year he finished QB 8. He had over 4,100 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns, which is low-key kind of juicy. And he did all that without me and Matt's boy, Calvin Ridley. So
My boy now.
how?
We traded in Dynasty. I got Calvin Ridley. After I was calling him the same as Christian Kirk.
Hater.
So yeah, I don't know. Not much evidence going there, but T-Law top 5.
T all top 5.
Tank
I
for
like it.
Trevor.
I think there's a chance, but I think what's more likely
Oh,
is
God.
my bold take: Justin Fields finishing as a top 3.
Oh,
fantasy quarterback.
please.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
damn mouth.
Makes my ears hurt.
Not just top 5, top 3. Last season, when Justin Fields got 10 carries or more, which was in
not a
8
running back.
games, averaged 29 fantasy points per game. He can be a running back all he wants as long as he's getting me fantasy points. 29 fantasy points per game, unbelievably impressive. The Bears lost their top rusher. They're going to rely even more on Fields in the running game. And he, like I mentioned earlier, started off the season with games of 19, 8, 4, 10, and 19, and still finished QB 7 while also missing 2 games later in the season. Fields put up like some crazy numbers for a few weeks there. I don't think that's going to happen every single game, but I think if he can get a little bit more consistent, float around 20, 25 a week, and I think which he can do with this offense, they also added some valuable pieces. They don't have the corpse of Allen Robinson anymore, obviously. And so now DJ Moore, a valuable wide receiver, can help him out, as we've already seen in the preseason. Justin Fields doesn't even have to throw it far. He can throw it behind, like right at the line of scrimmage.
throw it
Just
far.
DJ Moore will take it 60 yards to the house. It
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
going to happen every time.
It might, though. So I'm taking
won't.
Justin Fields. He's putting up numbers this year. The division's up for grabs. So give me Justin Fields.
Please take him.
Take 'em.
Please.
I am. I'm taking him. And
I'll
y'all
take him.
will-
I will
I'll
take
be
him as
sitting
well.
Pretty
Be upset.
hurts.
All right. That is it for the quarterback rankings episode. Thanks for dropping by. If you are here with us live, stay tuned. We are staying live for our live draft of the Super Fantasy Bros League. If you're watching this back or listening on Spotify, definitely just make sure to follow us on all platforms so you don't miss out on anything. Use our code SUPERFB for Underdog Fantasy. Take advantage of great discounted sports gear at Fanatics, link in our bio. And make sure to follow Old City Sports Network, ton of good podcasts and whatnot.